Hey guys, what's up? It's Arsh, and welcome back to my channel. If you're into real chilling late-night stories that actually stay with you, then you're in the right place. Today's video is going to be intense, like genuinely unsettling. These are stories I found on Reddit that felt way too real to ignore, and once I read them, I knew I had to share them with you guys. So grab your headphones, turn off the lights, and let's get into it. 1991. That was the year my parents moved into our house. It was small at first, nothing special, just another quiet place with a history no one really thinks about. But over time, they built onto it, adding a new section, including a crawl space beneath the living room. The family that lived there before us had 3 sons, Tommy, Danny, and Gary. Down in the basement, there were old shelves labeled with their names in permanent marker. Years later, out of pure boredom, my stepbrother and I decided to go down there and search through their old boxes. We didn't have a reason. We were just bored enough to start digging into someone else's past. We spent nearly 2 hours going through everything and found almost nothing, just 3 boxes of bullets. But there was one last box we hadn't checked, Tommy's. I reached up, pulled it down, and we opened it. Inside, sitting quietly, was a doll. 2007. I was 8 years old when my sister and I found that same doll again in the basement. It was a small porcelain doll, pale, too pale. It had blue eyes, but the pupils were white, completely white. It didn't have feet, they were broken off, jagged at the ends. It didn't look right, but at the same time, it felt strangely real when you held it. We had a neighbor who was our friend, and the 3 of us would play games with it, chasing each other around the house. We called it Scary Lady. It was just a game to us, something stupid and fun. But my mom hated it. She would always take the doll and put it back in the basement. She didn't want some old, dusty porcelain doll lying around the house. That basement wasn't normal either. It wasn't finished or comfortable. It was old, with brick walls, a cold cement floor, and piles of forgotten junk. There were 2 sections, the main basement and the crawl space under the living room. The crawl space was low, tight, and unsettling, the kind of place that felt wrong just looking at it. 2014. I was brushing my teeth one night and walked into the hallway, and that's when I saw it. The doll, sitting on top of a tall bureau upstairs. I actually laughed a little when I saw it because it brought back those childhood memories. I picked it up and put it on my bed while I sat at my computer. But after a while, something started to bother me. There was no reason for it to be upstairs. My mum always put it back in the basement. Always. So I asked her about it. She said she didn't know what doll I was talking about. She vaguely remembered a doll we used to leave around as kids, but she said she hadn't seen it in years and definitely didn't bring it upstairs. About a week later, I went down to the basement to fix the water filter because the sink was acting up. After fixing it, I decided to look around for a bit since I hadn't been down there in a while. Then I looked toward the crawl space. For just a second, I imagined the doll sitting deep inside it, perfectly placed, like it belonged there. The image stuck in my head so clearly that it felt real. And instead of walking away, I went upstairs, grabbed the doll, and brought it back down. Right before I went into the crawl space, something inside me told me not to do it. It wasn't fear exactly, just a strong feeling that this was a bad idea, but I ignored it. I climbed onto a stool and crawled inside. I moved quickly, not wanting to be in there any longer than necessary. I placed the doll deep inside, exactly where I had imagined it, then rushed back out into the main basement. I took a moment to catch my breath, then turned back to look. "Oh, Jesus," I said out loud. The doll was staring straight down the crawl space toward me. The way it sat there, the way its face looked in that position, it was the most terrifying thing I had ever seen. I pulled out my phone and took a picture. After that, I never went back into the crawl space. I didn't want to see it again, and I definitely didn't want it seeing me. Over the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about it. There's a difference between something being creepy and something being scary, and this was definitely scary. It stayed in my mind constantly. Whenever I was in the living room, I'd think about how it was right beneath me. When I played the piano, when I walked through the house, even when I left through the front door. I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that it was down there, sitting in the dark. I started losing sleep over it. Eventually, I decided I needed to show someone. My stepbrother was coming over, so I planned to tell him everything. When he arrived, I brought him down to the basement and started explaining the whole story as we walked toward the crawl space. I turned around to show him where I had placed it, but it was gone. "Where is it?" I said. "Where's what?" he asked. "The doll," I snapped back. I hadn't told anyone where I put it. No one could have gone all the way into that crawl space, and yet it wasn't there anymore. That's the question that never left me. Did it move, or did it leave? At first, nothing else happened. No sounds, no movement, nothing. But that silence felt wrong, like something was waiting. The dreams didn't start right away. At first they were vague, just the crawl space, stretching longer than it should, and something sitting at the end of it. Then one night, it got closer. I was in the crawl space again, on my hands and knees, the cold ground pressing into me, the air thick and hard to breathe. The doll was there, closer than before. Its head tilted slightly, like it was studying me. Then it moved, slowly at first, dragging itself forward, those broken feet scraping against the ground with a dry, hollow sound. Then faster, and then it started running. Not standing, not walking, running on those broken stubs, jerking forward in a way that made no sense. Its white pupils locked onto me, unblinking. I tried to crawl away, tried to scream, but I couldn't. It got closer and closer, the scraping sound right behind me. Then I woke up, gasping, my chest tight like something had been sitting on me. That was the first time. It didn't stop. The dreams kept coming again and again. Every time it got closer, faster, harder to escape. Even now, I still see it. I still wake up breathless, heart racing, that same panic crawling through me. And deep down, I know something I don't want to admit. Maybe the doll never left. Maybe it just found a different way in. And every night, it's still trying to reach me. All right, that was the story. I don't know about you guys, but this one really got under my skin. It's not just scary. It's the kind of fear that follows you even after the story ends, and that's what makes it different. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which story hit you the hardest. Or if you want more like this, I've got a lot more coming. Until then, stay safe and don't look too closely at the dark.